Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Humble Servant Homestead. Today we are out here getting ready to do part one of garden update. Now I know it has been a while since I bring you all to show you guys how the garden is doing, and so today is that day. Today is August the 2nd, and so we just want to let y'all
No, it's August the 1st. I'm sorry.
The 1st? Okay.
Yeah.
Today is August the 1st, and so we just want to show you all what is going on here inside of the garden. And of course, we are standing right here before the corn, okay? And this corn here is towering over us here in this garden. And also with these green beans, remember I was telling you all, go ahead, if you have this, if you don't have space and you want to get the most out of your little corn patch or wherever you were planting, just go ahead and put some beans, some kind of beans that can vine up that corn, and that is what we have right here. Now I just want to show you this little cluster of rattlesnake pole bean right here. I am telling you, they are doing fantastic. Now it is almost like a bean tree because these beans, they are all the way up to the top of the corn. Now these corn right here, guys, we actually came on in and measured them, and they are tapping right at about 15.5 feet. Now tell me if that is not a blessing. It's my first time seeing corn grow that tall. Now I have been growing corn for quite a while, and this is my first time seeing them grow that tall. It could just be the variety of the corn, or they could simply just love where they're planted. But nonetheless, I am thankful. And like I said, these beans, if you can see right here, it's actually running past the corn.
Oh,
you
yeah.
See that? Now, I don't know, there's a blossom right here, and I don't know how I'm going to harvest that. I might just let them stay on up there and dry out,
yeah,
and just save the seeds. But I'm telling you, these beans, they are producing like crazy.
Yeah.
Now remember, the variety of corn that we do have here is the Jimmy red corn. Now one of the issue or the problem that we ran into with these corn, I did come on down and spray the ears for those earworms, and but it's still a few of them inside of there. But nonetheless, the corn, they are doing really good. Not doing much watering right now with them at this point, but what we'll do, we'll go ahead and we'll walk and talk so we can show you some of these corn. Now remember, this one right here, I'll show you. Wow, look at that bean right there, babe. See that bean?
Yeah.
Wow. But nonetheless, as y'all can see, we have fresh silk coming out from that corn here. Now remember, I did have to come on in and replace some of the corn. Simple reason why we had those sugarcane beetles, and so far over the course of this corn growing, we have been coming down here and treating this area to get rid of those sugarcane beetles. Now I know you guys are going to ask me, what was the treatment that you used down here? Simply, we came on in with neem oil, castile soap. We was hitting them with everything, diatomaceous earth, to get rid of them. Okay, and so far they are doing just fine so far. All right, and so just to kind of show you all how these beans and corn is doing, we still have beans. It's actually time to come on in and harvest.
Yeah.
You know,
I was just saying that.
Oh my God, look at these, babe. These are huge.
They're beautiful.
These are huge. I tell you what, let's go ahead and
You gonna pick them?
do a little taste test and maybe bust one open. Oh, look at that.
Can't focus.
That, you know, it got a sweet taste to it. Want some beans, girl? You don't like beans?
Did she really spit that out?
She
honey.
don't like beans. She want me to
She want meat.
for her. But nonetheless, corn is doing really well. Like I said, we came down and these one right here is fit, but what we're going to do is let a lot of this corn here go ahead and dry out. Okay, that was the whole purpose and reason for planting this corn. for it to dry out so we can store it for cornmeal, grits, or whatever of that purpose. And so that is what these corn are here for. But come on down, come on down. We'll go ahead, walk and talk. But keep that in mind as well for next year when you do your garden, to just be sure to go ahead and, what's that word I'm looking for? Companion planting, yes. Go ahead and do some companion planting if you don't have that much space. You see, we did it here on the homestead. Now you could go back and check out those videos. When we first plant our corn, I gave you the measurements and everything. Now, when you come in to plant those beans, you want to make sure your corn is up first before you plant those beans. When I say up, you want to make sure they're right at about 8 inches to about a foot tall before you plant them, because those beans, they grow fast and they'll come and they'll take over. Okay, you want them to have somewhere to run. But come on down. I'm very impressed with this variety of corn here this year. But come on down, let's get on over here. We'll talk about those okras and what is going on. Girl, you almost get stepped on, you know that, right? But nonetheless, come on over here, guys. And so here we are. Now I know you all probably saying, hey, why are these okras are so big on these pods? Why are they so big? Yes, they are big. Simple reason why we are transitioning into fall garden, and I need this space right here. Okay, so I'm letting these okras go ahead and seed, get wooded so I can harvest those seeds, and also have this space, because we do need a space. And as y'all can see, they are still producing. Now usually when you let them go to seed, when you let them start filling out like this, production do slow down. That is why you want to make sure you come on out and harvest your okra every day. And so we do have a few here that is actually ready to be harvested, and I'm going to show you something here, what's going on since I let these pods go ahead and grow out. Now if you notice right here, a lot of these pods, or a lot of where the blossom would come from, fell off. And simple reason why, what this plant is doing, it is telling the rest of the plant, or telling the blossom that, hey, look, hey, my job is almost completed, so we don't have to produce any more blossoms. Okay, and so make sure, guys, you come on out and harvest your okras every day. Usually if I was still coming out to harvest okra all the way into the fall, these plants right here would probably be over my head.
They would. It wouldn't probably.
Yes. Well, because last year we come down and we harvest okra, harvest okra, and they got so tall to where that, hey, they were like, hey, I'm done. And what we did, or what we usually do, is we'll come back on in, and come on, let me show you. Now, if you can see this shoot that is coming off from the side right here, that is something I want you to keep in mind. And you also have another one coming. Now, what I could have done if I was...
This one right behind you.
Well, yeah, this one. And so that is what we would do. We would come on in, cut this okra right here, and we would come on in with more nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. Okay, and what that would do, it would boost that plant to go out and put out those new foliage, and that way we would have a little bit more, a smaller harvest of okra through the fall. But since we're going to need this space right here, we're not going to do that here today. All right. And so,
question.
Yes.
How far along is this particular amount of growth? That's about a week, right?
This right here?
Yeah.
Now
that cluster.
Yes, this is actually right at about a week.
Yeah, because that's addressing. Someone said that we were picking one okra at a time. Well, but this you can see within a week's time how many okra is on one plant.
Yes, and you see, the thing is, it's not so much of a dressing, because the thing about it is, if you don't grow it for yourself, or you know what these okras do, then you sitting on the other side watching, it may not look as prolific to you as it does to us when we come down here and harvest okra every day. Now, I am telling you, like I said, this is a wheat growth. Yeah. And look at this. We still have this one that is actually ready to be harvested. And then by tomorrow, well, like I said, they slow down growing. They don't swell up as big because a lot of the energy is going into these pods right here.
For seed.
For seeds, yes. So they do grow now, but they don't grow. They don't fill out as fast as they would if it was coming down here and harvesting okras every day. But nonetheless, we got a lot of okras out of these pods here and out of these plants here. And we are happy and we are thankful.
Absolutely.
To the most. We're always thankful. Now, that's one of the things as a gardener. You want to make sure that you are always thankful for whatever you are getting out of your plants, okay? And another thing, remember, always give the praises to the Most High, because He the one that make it all possible. You know, we sometimes, you know, something look good, or we may get a compliment, or we may say, yeah, you know, I did it. No, that's not the case for me, okay? The case for me is, hey, all praises be to the Most High, because I know at the end of the day, it's Him that bringeth forth the increase. Hey, I just come on out and put my hand to the plow, say a prayer, and He blessed it. Okay, and I'm thankful for that. But nonetheless, I think we touch on okras a bit long enough right here. So what we're going to get ready to do right now is we're going to go ahead and take a little stroll on down here to the sweet potato patch. And I am telling you, hey, they are doing their thing. All right, so come on along, let's go. And if y'all can look and see the growth,
the field of dreams,
the growth on these sweet potatoes. Now remember, like I told you all, you see these leaves right here? These leaves, hey, they are edible. So if you have your sweet potato patch and those leaves are looking as lush and beautiful and green like these, pick you some, take them in the kitchen, saute them up, just like, and that don't really taste so good. But it's okay. You know, the thing about it is, well, like what I like to do for you guys is I like to keep it real with you. Okay, they taste better cooked. Keep that in mind. All right. So nonetheless, right here is where I had some extra slips, and I came on in and I put a tire on inside of here, just to kind of, you know, keep them slips going. All right, and so that's what this is right here. And all this is just growth inside of a path where those slips ran out into the walkway. And so the other day I was down here, guys, just checking, because remember, last year we had that issue with those voles that came on in and damaged a lot of our sweet potatoes. So I do come down here on a regular just to check different spots here in the sweet potato patch, just to make sure we are not running into that issue like we did last year. But come on in right here, let me show you what is going on with these sweet potatoes. Okay, now come on down here, excuse me, come on down here, look at that right there, guys.
Oh wow,
we have a surprise right there. We have sweet potatoes. Okay, and the thing is, one of the things to check to make sure that your sweet potatoes, they're growing, you will sometime when you come in to check, you will see that dirt start to crack. Okay, now look at that right here.
Oh, you see it splitting.
See all that crack going on inside of this dirt? That right there let me know that there are some food in the ground down here. So that is one of the ways you can come on in and check wherever you plant your slip at. Just, hey, peel it back, look on down in there and see what is going on. Okay, all right, and so maybe about a day or so, this foliage right here will close back on in.
Okay.
Okay, all right, guys, that is not it. We do have more. Let's go. We're gonna go on over here down to the cucumbers and talk a little bit about these cucumbers here for just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, and so here we are right in front of our cucumbers. Now, of course, you know, I did the video where you come on out and prune those leaves back to make sure that your cucumber is fighting off or no disease are coming in on your cucumber. But simply, guys, I am telling you, stay tuned. We have a video coming we harvest so much cucumbers off of these plants right here. But now what I am doing right now is simply letting this cucumber here go to seed. All right, and look at that.
There's still a ton of them on there.
Yes, there's some big ones. That's a big one there, right in there. And so we're letting them go to seed, just like you see this one here is starting to turn yellow. That is a sign that this cucumber is being pretty ripe, and pretty soon I'm gonna let it get a little bit more yellow, and I'll come on in, cut it, and extract the seeds out of it. But nonetheless, look at that. And it's going all the way on down through there. It's a lot of cucumbers. Now, if I wasn't going to save seeds right now, what I would do, I would come on in and make sure I get all these yellow leaves out that is starting to get real old, pulling out all these dry ones, but simply because I am getting ready to clean this area up. Once these cucumbers go ahead and seed, I'm gonna come and take all this out anyway, so I don't want to go ahead and waste too much energy on this particular cucumber plant. But if you were to let it keep on going, you would want to come on in and take out all these old leaves, because simply it will bring disease to your plant. But come on over here. We're going to talk a little bit now. This right here is our Roma tomato plant.
One of them.
Well, yes, this is one of them. And as y'all can see, guys, this plant is loaded. And I think next year I'm going to maybe, which I do have some already, but I'll probably make my own tomato cages. Simple reason why, you see how big this tomato plant is, and it just, you know, and I did come on in and prune a little bit off for it, but it just want to do its thing. And so right now what I'm doing, I am just simply leaving it to do its thing. Okay, leaving it to do its thing. Actually, we do have some down here that we have to come on in and harvest pretty soon. And wow, look at the backside on that one there. Come on down, and but we do have some. Now, you remember what variety this is, Bev?
Let me see. We only planted 2 varieties. That's the thing.
But nonetheless, hey, we have tomatoes.
Well, it's an edible variety. How about that?
It's edible, yes. Now, these tomato down here is, what's that? The
beefsteak.
Beefsteak, yes. Now, what we did, and we have what we did last year is when we planted our tomatoes, we planted these beefsteak next to another variety tomato, and guess what? They cross, and so we actually like that variety of tomato that cross with that pink beefsteak, and I think we're going to try that out for next year. So
to see if the seeds grow true.
Yes, to see if they grow true. But even these right here, guys, they came up to about right here, and we had a storm came through, and we had to come on in and clean it up, cut these back. So all this right here is new growth. And as
it's putting out.
They are putting out blossoms. Now, one of the things that you can do, because tomato blossoms, they are actually self-pollinated. Okay, so you have the female and the male flower in one blossom. So sometimes it is good for you to come on down, give them a little shake just like that, so that pollen can get in there and move all around and pollinate, so you can get some more tomatoes. Okay, and the wind sometimes will help you with that as well. And so we still have more tomatoes, and it's not just us eating these tomatoes. The birds are also coming in and eating them up as well. All right, so right here we have and we're going to just move on. And so right in here we have the peppers. Now these peppers right here, we're actually going to go ahead, finish harvesting what we can harvest off of them and pull them on up. Simple reason why, like I said, we are getting ready for fall garden. And so I just want to show you all what the garden is looking like before we tear it up. right? But it's for a good cause.
Right.
All right?
We're going to do some reconstruction. We're not going to say tear it up.
Well, you know, but nonetheless, and while we're here, we'll talk, talk a little bit about weeds. Make sure when you see weeds in your garden, pull them out. You don't want your plant competing for nutrients and water with weeds. So remember to get those on out the garden. You can pick them and drop them, whichever way is fine. All right? And so here is, and of course you already know, these here are our bell peppers. Now, usually when your bell peppers first grow, they'll grow those bell peppers down at the bottom and they'll get real big. Now, you actually can get a second crop out of your bell peppers. Now, what you need to do once you harvest those ones, because as y'all can see, we have new blossoms coming in on these bell peppers, but we're going to take them out, guys, so I'm not going to waste the resource or the time on them. But what you can do to get a second good harvest and even big bell peppers out of your plant, you would want to come on in, because as y'all can see, these right here, they are still green. So we would actually hold off on the nitrogen. You don't want them to get any more bigger than they already are, because that's what the nitrogen will do. Is the sun in your eye, baby?
You good.
Because what the nitrogen will do is it will let that plant start growing like crazy. You don't want that. So you want to come on in with your potassium and your phosphorus on the root of these plants, so that way it can even straighten up those roots even more, and also it can have those blossoms to go ahead and set and make big fruit for you. Okay, so you can also keep that in mind whenever you get ready, or if you want a little bit more bell peppers
on your already established plants.
Already established plant. And look at that, it's bell peppers still on these plants here.
Yeah. It's plenty.
We have new growth, and even because when we came on in and plant, we didn't plant all of our bell peppers at the same time. Now that is another thing that you want to keep in mind to be able to get a real good harvest out of your bell peppers
over a period of time.
Over a period of time, you want to plant one batch, and then maybe a month or so you may plant another batch. Just so that way you can keep on getting a good harvest. Now this plant right here, these are actually all new blossoms that set on this particular plant, and even down there. And so like I said, and another thing, remember, you can pick bell peppers at any stage. Any stage you can pick them. It's all up to you on how you want to use them. All right, and so nonetheless, come on down, we'll keep on talking. And so, and look at this plant. Look at that plant. It is huge. I actually had to come on in and tie some of them up. Yeah. Because there was, as y'all see, they got so heavy and fell over. But what I came in and did, I came on in with a cage. These are tomato cages that I had, and I just cut them to fit this plant. But look at that. Beautiful, beautiful bell peppers. Now that's 5 bell peppers here on this plant, and they're just still producing. They're still producing, and like we always say, we are thankful for whether it's 1 bell pepper, 2 bell pepper. We're thankful for whatever we get. All right, so I think that's enough. That's enough right there on the bell peppers. Okay, come on over here. Let me talk a little bit about what we have going on here. Now, I'm telling you, with the Florida weave on these right here, it is definitely a beauty. Simple reason why I am able to walk through these rows. Now, well, no, not for now. I'm going to make sure that I train them on that Florida weave. And so, you know, and that's the beauty with these beans here. I can just come on and do that weave, and I'll have a walk space, because plenty of times I grow stuff in this garden here, and the walk space, you cannot find it. Okay, but
now these are about 4 weeks old, right? These were July the 1st planting.
I want to say about 6
no, weeks, I want to say we planted these July 1st. Or July 3rd, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. We'd have to go back and check, but nonetheless, like I said it before, if you want a bean that you can go ahead and get a harvest out of them real quick, I like the purple whole peas.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because actually these ones here are actually going to start get ready to put on. As y'all can see right here, this is where your blossom is going to be coming from, and they're actually going to get ready to start bearing. And that is what we want. We didn't plant them just to look beautiful like this. We plant them so we can get a harvest out of them. And so far, looking real good. Now, no fertilizer on these right here. Okay, no fertilizer. But another thing to keep in mind, remember your beans, they are nitrogen fixer. Now, that doesn't mean that they're being fed off the nitrogen that they're producing right now. No. You have to let these beans go ahead, dry back, and there's a little ball down there on the root from where they collect the nitrogen, collect the oxygen out of here to make that nitrogen down there into the root, and then it releases off those pods. But you have to let these go ahead and dry back. Okay, so nonetheless, once it dry back, we'll go ahead and use that for planting again, because we're going to come in, maybe cultivate it, and we'll be able to have nitrogen in this area right here. All right, I hope I was clear with the nitrogen.
So you're saying the beans have to go through this cycle of growing?
Yeah, yes.
And then you harvest what you harvest.
Yes.
You let it break down, and then breaking down and decaying back into the ground, it's releasing that nitrogen back.
Yes, but the nitrogen is not up here in the...
No, it's in the roots. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, there's a little ball. If you want to check it out whenever you grow your beans, just pull one on up and look, you'll see those little balls. You can sometimes squish that ball in the liquid inside is green. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's just a little bit of tip, a little bit of knowledge.
For some natural nitrogen?
Yeah, natural nitrogen. And also, you know, for the people that didn't know that, it also helps when you know that you're able to plant certain things that can help to get nitrogen, okay? Or nitrogen, yes. All right, so we already talked about peppers. Those right there are our banana peppers and a little bit more bell peppers, okay? So we're going to go ahead and skip that row, all right?
Okay.
Now, so right here is our collards, the Georgia collards. And it's almost, you can't harvest enough off these plants. The more you harvest,
the more they produce.
The more they produce. Now, when you do come into harvest, if you want to continue to get a harvest out of these plant right here, make sure you're harvesting your bottom leaves, okay? Don't get a knife and cut that plant. What will happen, you simply won't get any more harvest because you just cut the crown of the plant out, okay? So that is how we harvest Georgia collards here on the homestead. Now these I'll give to the goats because they love greens as well. All right, and so right here in this spot, guys, is where we had came on in and plant our squash and also zucchini. And so right on over here we have some more. Now what I've noticed, now these are not seeds that were saved here on our homestead. These are actually seeds that we bought from the store. Now you see what is going on, and if you don't know what is going on, I'll tell you what is going on right here. This is still edible, but this plant or this fruit right here was probably crossed with a squash and zucchini. Now that is why you're getting yellow and green color inside of here. And this is actually not supposed to be a crook neck squash. It's supposed to be a straight neck squash, because that's the kinds that we do like here on the homestead. And as y'all can see, so what they had in that seed packet is not what they said it was, but nonetheless we'll leave that for another day.
I mean, but that's just the importance of saving your own seed.
Yes, absolutely. You know? All right, and so come on down here, camera lady, and as y'all can see, they are actually starting to produce. And like I strongly always suggest, go ahead and trellis up your squash. Okay, you'll get less problem with your vine borers, and other pests like that. All right, now your squash bugs, they fly, and so they can get wherever they want to get. But those vine borers, we like to trellis or stake up our squash. All right, so right on over here is where we planted those corn.
Hey.
Now look at them. As y'all can see, they are growing. They are looking really well, and I'm gonna give them a little bit more time, maybe about a week or so. I'm going to give them, and then I am going to come on in and hit them with a little bit more nitrogen, okay? Because I figure if I come on out here and hit them with a little bit more nitrogen, I can get them to, which that's what's going to happen. They're going to grow pretty fast, and the quicker we can get them to grow and get the airs out of them, that's the best thing for us, because we know that fall is approaching, and corn typically don't really like too much of a cold weather. And so, hey, the quicker we can get that harvest out of them, the better off the corn will be, and the better off I will be able to eat some sweet corn, okay? But guys, nonetheless, that right there is part 1 of the garden update. I had to break it up in parts because I didn't want to make it so lengthy where that you don't, you know, you're not able to watch the whole thing
and enjoy
it. So we just break it up in parts for y'all. So stay tuned. We are going to be doing part 2 at the top garden, and so just stay tuned for that. And I pray that you all enjoy what is going on out here. And like I said, I cannot push it enough to you all. Get outside. Get in the dirt. This is actually where you was molded from. Okay? This is what you was molded from. So get out there. Get out there. Get in the dirt and grow your own food. Grow it. Okay? You can do it. I know you can do it, because the testimonies that I've been getting from so many different people out there that say, hey, you know what? Because of you, I've started a garden, and all I can say is all praises be to the Most High. I said, brother, don't thank me. Don't thank me. I am just a vessel. Okay? That is all I am. Just a vessel to bring some kind of motivation to you all. It's just like Noah and the ark, right? He went around for so many years preaching to the people, hey, get yourself together. There is a flood coming. Okay, get yourself together. There's a flood coming. And they looked at him and they laughed and they said, ha ha ha, you're crazy. You're building a ark out in the middle of nowhere. There's no water for you to sail that ark. There's nothing, right? But when that flood came, everybody come, and that was the only thing that was floating, and everybody wanted to get on it. And guess what? Christ had to shut that door, because if not, Noah had such a compassionate heart where that he would have let those people on in. But Christ said, no, you did your job. You went around and you warned them. Get yourself together. And so Christ was like, you know what? No, God was like, no. Y'all had a time to repent and get yourself together, so you could have been on that ark. And that is why I'm out here pushing, guys. There's a famine coming. They're telling you this straight out. Get outside and grow your food. The best now that you can learn what it is you need to do with these plants, learn what plants need to grow, so that way you're not in that step of making any mistakes when it's crucial for you to grow your own food. Because you don't want to be learning what I need to put on these corn for them to grow. No, you want to actually start that now so you know what they need. Okay? So get on outside, get in the dirt, grow your food. I just want to say peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all out there, and have a blessed day.